Hello and welcome back to the Cozy Club, my friends. My name is Cozy Gamer, and it is a beautiful day for some DSA. And finally, after the long wait, much requested, we have the July tier list video for you guys, and I'm excited to get it out. I kept delaying it because, on a good note, DSA is getting a lot of characters coming to it. We've had the Lotso gang come, we've had Stitch and Friends, Hero, Tech Team, a lot since the June video. I think you guys are going to be surprised because this video has a ton of changes amongst the tiers within DSA. We have a lot of character movement, and I'm sure you guys are going to be baffled where I place some of these characters. So I want to say a quick thank you so much. We finally hit a 5,000 subs and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Guys, thank you for making this the best community for DSA and also one of the best Disney communities in general. We have so much fun on the Twitch stream, guys. You guys make it a blast every single time, and I enjoy getting out these videos to you more and more here on YouTube. Now, a quick note, if you want to see all the brand new characters, action events, anything coming to DSA, Disney Sorcerer's Arena, hit that subscribe button down below and like this video, as you will be subscribed to the channel and get updates as I release videos. We release a ton of videos every week, and I'm excited to get out more and more. Now it's time to hop to July's tier list, and let's go ahead, start with the bottom of the barrel. We're going to talk about some basics first, but let's look at the F tier class starting at the bottom ranks, guys. These are heroes you're not going to want to use. You're going to be tempted to use them early game, as some of them are accessible early in the game, but later, even into mid, into late game, they just do not hold up. They don't bring enough to the team, and mainly, guys, this tier list is looking at both late game, mid game, early game, all throughout. How are these characters and how are they by themselves and with a team? And I'll show you guys in a quick second. I'll remind you, but you're going to see a +1, +2 next to some of these characters. That just means they go up a tier or two depending on the team that they are with. So we'll hop into that in just a hot minute. So looking at the trash of DSA, and it pains me to see some of these beloved characters on the bottom of the list, guys. It wasn't easy to make this list, and it was even harder to put characters that I enjoy playing with or I enjoy in the movies pretty far down on the list. Let's go ahead and look at the F list. I want to let you guys know we're going to be working left to right, so the better characters are going to be on the left side of this screen, and then the worst ones are on the right. So looking at Crunk, he's going to be the best within F tier. And then it goes down Yzma, Monterey Jack, and so on, guys. So I think there was some confusion in the last video. I just wanted to clear that up. Left to right, these are ordered within the tiers. Looking at the F tier, guys, do not invest into these. Now, I want to see Crunk and Yzma get a buff within DSA. And dare I say, it would be Cusco-licious if these guys got a buff. But right now, they're just not usable. Really looking at Rafiki, he can stun. That's about it. I mean, his stats are just not good. These guys don't have good stats. You know my feelings and my hatred for Baloo, so we're not even going to go there. And Tinkerbell, obviously, is currently the worst character in DSA. She got a little bit of a +1. You can see there, if she's with the Oceanic team with Bubbles and Gantu and some of the better heroes, she does get lifted up just a little bit. Now, she still remains the worst character within Disney Sorcerer's Arena, and I'm curious to see who can take her off the throne. All right, so we've talked about the bottom of the barrel. It's time to go up a letter grade, up just one. Of course, we're going to be going from S tier, which is the best, all the way to F, which we just looked at. And right after F comes the D tier, my friends. So looking at this D tier, you've got Pete first. And, you know, Pete is an offense character that he just doesn't do enough. Yes, he can call people to assist. He's got a little synergy with the villains. He can counterattack just a bit. But overall, he's lacking in both stats and abilities, making him probably the worst downtown villain here next to Jangles. Now, Jack Skellington, I would love to see if Nightmare Before Christmas got a little bit of a buff come around Halloween. Maybe Oogie Boogie, Sally, and Jack will get touched up just a bit, but for now, Jack just doesn't do enough consistently to even make it past the D tier. Now, we have the other +1s here, Woody and Jesse, and you guys know with the Toy Story team, they can actually do a little bit of work. They have some synergy to talk to both Buzz and Zurg and some of the other Toy Story heroes. However, by themselves, Woody and Jesse just don't do enough. Jesse's kit on paper looks like it can do some really great things, but it just doesn't add up once you have them all together. Now, controversially, you do have Jangles maybe being able to move up a little bit more on this list, not past the D tier. He's a tank, he's very random, and he can soak up a lot of damage. He's a decent character to go for first, just to kind of get you through the villain campaign or to get you Zurg. Other than that, he doesn't serve much purpose. Now, I know I have friends personally within this game that love Pocahontas. I'm a Pocahontas lover as well. Let's get some Colors of the Wind rework, my friends. However, she isn't there yet. She's just too slow, doesn't do enough. She's got some great animations. She does okay with the life drain giving, and she can do decent stuff with hero characters. But again, she just doesn't do enough oomph to bring her up another tier. And then lastly, I did promote Hopper from the F tier over to the D tier, mainly because he does help a little bit against Frozen. And again, I've got some people I know that like Hopper. Let's move over and move on to the C tier Cozy Club. And starting off with the C tier is someone you know was ranked pretty poorly on the last tier list and very poorly on 2 tier lists ago. That was the first one we ever did. Captain Hook, guys. Captain Hook got significantly buffed in a little bit of a way. You can see he has a +1 here. He's going to go up to at least a B tier once he's with his Oceanic friends. He's got a great ability that can call all Oceanics to assist, or the chance for that, and has some synergy there, but he's still not quite, great enough to fit in with other squads. However, I think eventually when we do get Peter Pan, Wendy, or anyone else that comes to this game, Captain Hook should see a nice little boost. Now, after Hook, we've got the Queen of Hearts, which, yes, she can summon some cards. She's okay in tower. She can purge effects. She does some nice things well. However, again, just doesn't find herself on any teams. I'm not seeing really anyone, definitely not myself, putting her on any teams over other characters or even situationally. Now, looking at the Big Baby, guys, Big Baby is new to this tier list and a little underwhelming. I said this right when they came out. Big Baby just doesn't do enough, even with the Toy Story villains, to be usable. Big Baby, he's good with the Conquest teams. It's okay to put him with Lotso, Chunk, and the other downtown Toy Story villains on Conquest, but for the amount of attack Big Baby has, just doesn't put out enough damage with his abilities. He can put out some guaranteed stuns, and there are situational uses. That's why it's got the +1 there, but I would avoid Big Baby overall. If you're looking for a strong hitter, there's better options out there. Now, Oogie Boogie got to rise up with the fear teams that we're starting to see more and more with Lotso. If you haven't already, you can check out my top teams video up at the top corner there, and it talks about some example teams. It's a little outdated now that we've had some teams come to DSA, or some new characters, shall I say. Now, the Toy Story villain squad is good with Sully or Randall. They can really start to build up fear. Now that Wild Imagination did get reworked, you can put the Headless Horseman out there, and you do find niches for Oogie Boogie. But other than that, he's a big, fat bullet sponge. And again, hopefully gets touched up. Now, looking at the rest of this list, yes, we've got Gaston, who can do a little bit better under Sean Yu. But overall, Gaston isn't worth using too much. Horn King, super fast, super disappointing. Hopefully he gets touched up. Would love to see more Black Cauldron within this game. And then we've got Violet with the +1. Works a lot better with the Incredible Heroes. However, Hiro Hamada just came out and he kind of does everything that Violet does, but better. So I'm going to put Violet here. She does do better with the Incredibles, but she's just not going to cut it for that B tier class. So yes, when I go to each letter grade, we are talking about the best characters first within their tier, and Sheriff and Nottingham is going to be the worst within the C class, guys. Sheriff is another character, a lot like Queen of Hearts, just doesn't quite fit a team or a mold yet, and hopefully we get more Robin Hood love, and maybe we'll see him find his place in the future. All right, we're in the B tier now, and you know what? I probably should start from bottom to top. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up, starting with Randall and Sully. Now, I just spoke about Oogie Boogie. They're going to be suffering the same fate. Both decent characters, get a lot better when they're with a fear team with them. However, they just don't quite do enough outside of that. I do use Sully a lot personally. I think he does what he's supposed to do well. He can do some big damage, has a nice taunt, and he's slow enough to have that taunt not come back soon enough. Works well with some of the better teams that I have. However, Sully just doesn't do enough by himself. Frozone is the same case as Violet, just up a tier. Ariel and Anger are both great choices early on. Ariel's going to get a little bit of a buff with Bubbles and Gantu. However, she is still stuck in this B tier. Now, Davy Jones, he's making his way up Cozy Club. This character is probably the hardest character to get within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. There's no way to purchase him flat out. I've been chasing him forever, and I still do not have my hands on even a 6-star Davy Jones yet. He's finally finding a place now that we're seeing Oceanic rise up the meta charts. However, by himself, a little lackluster. He can get a big silence move out there to begin the match. And after that, doesn't do much. Now, Elastigirl is someone just like Davy who go up 2 spots with the right team. Elastigirl can hit some crazy single target damage and one of the best single target damagers within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. If you are big on the Incredibles, she's definitely someone worth going and investing in. Keep in mind, just because they're in the B list here doesn't mean they're horrible characters. They just have better options, obviously. Let's look at Simba and Buzz. Now, it pains me to put Simba here, Cozy Club. Love him in the movies. Lion King is a top 3 favorite Disney movie of mine. Simba works well and amazing in mid-game. If you're in the mid-game right now, Simba can clean up shop. He can take hits like a champ. However, later in the game, he just doesn't offer enough with his kit. We'll talk about it later in the video, but essentially tanks in general, they all taunt for the most part. Some of them do different stuff, but most of them are meant to take damage or get rid of damage from your other teammates. And Simba's kit just doesn't offer enough around his taunt. However, I do think there is some hope for our King of the Jungle, as we might see some wild leaders come out, or the jungle characters in general get a little bit of a buff up. So looking towards the top, we have Syndrome and Calhoun. And Calhoun being the best, the top of B tier, and that's just recently, my friends. Calhoun has the new Beacon of Light that kind of acts like Jasmine's Raja. She can throw that out there, and on a tech team, she does a lot of great things. She's an offensive character with a hybrid tank in the Beacon of Light. Does great things. Good to be with other downtown heroes. And Calhoun is someone I would suggest going after. And hopefully does a little bit better if we get more Wreck-It Ralph characters to DSA. Our buddy Syndrome just got the same treatment and was able to get a tech tag. I'm a little underwhelmed with Syndrome in tech teams, although I know people do love Syndrome. He does stuns, AoEs, and is a decent character overall. However, do not let your love of the character get in the way with how good they are, and he fits right around B class with the option to go up to B+ when with a tech team. We have moved on to the difference makers in DSA. The B+ category and onward are all great characters, guys. You can use any of them in your teams and find a place for them to work within whatever team you are trying to build. Steamboat Mickey is a great tank, very hard to unlock, but does some very useful and helpful things. And Shere Khan is advantageous as all get out on a debuff or a continuous damage team. He does more damage, the more harmful effects. So Shere Khan is great if you want to run him within a continuous damage or a wild team. Possibly you can put him with Simba on Conquest or something like that. Now, the first arena pack character, Robin Hood, can do great things for a Kingdom squad. He gives guaranteed crit out. He used to do a lot more than he does currently, and I know some people make him work within their squads. I just don't think Robin Hood does enough, especially out of the rest of the Kingdom characters that we do have, to slide into a spot to fit within the Kingdom team that he mainly is going to be on. Now, Jack Jack is the hardest incredible hero to get, and is not the best incredible hero, but does great things just filled with randomness. When he's with a incredible squad, he's going to go up at least 1 tier. Now, the King of Tower is on this list, and this list does include both PvP and PvE. And yes, Dr. Facilier is the king of Tower and the king, really, of PvE content. Just is kind of falling out of his place a little bit in those PvP teams. Still an amazing character to go for. Something and someone I went for immediately when I started. I love that he can charm, he can polymorph. He does a lot of tricky things on teams for DSA and does things that other people cannot do. However, this is kind of where the Doc belongs. Now let's talk about 2 more characters on the B+ list. Olaf being a great character when paired with the Frozen Squad. He does give tactics and charms and can reduce speed turn meter. I see a lot of people running Olaf. However, he's going to be fitting here near the top of the B+ category. And lastly, a personal favorite of the Cozy Clubs, enough Cozy Gamer, and that's Madam Mim. Now, Madam Mim is kind of the ultimate counter to a lot of teams, and I've been using her a lot more when against Frozen teams. Now, she's one of the only people that can do what she does. Kind of like Dr. Facilier, she has a very unique kit built all around debuffs about putting out helpful immunity out on the field, and also just adding a ton of debuffs on the field and putting some good damage out with her second ability. I love Madam Mim. She's going to be really the cusp of B+ tier. I think she represents the top of B+ very well, and that is going to cut it for the B+ tier. All right, Cozy Club, 3 tiers left, and we are on the better tiers, and that is going to be the A tier, my friends. A tier is when these heroes start becoming more and more meta or have the potential to be on some of the best teams within DSA. We still have 2 more lists left, A+ being the most chock full of characters, but let's take a look at the A tier list, guys. Looking at Spin on the bottom, excellent character with a Frozen team, one of the hardest hitters in DSA. I personally have seen him hit 12k damage, crazy amounts of damage on my team. Outside of Frozen, a little underwhelming. He really relies on the Frozen team to do most of his damage, so I feel like the bottom of this A list is a great spot for him. Keep in mind though, with Frozen, Spin goes to the top of that A+ list as far as offensive heroes in this game. Again, the guy hits like a truck. Looking at some other characters, you have seen the fall of both Mr. Incredible and Manicore. Although very good tanks in DSA, there are some tanks that just do a bit more. This feels right for them. They're in the mid A tier category. Big Bad Wolf can do some great damage. Jafar is really good for getting the charm out there. However, with Jafar, outside of his charm and his time is running out, just doesn't do much with his damage kit. So that feels about right. I love running him with the Shan Yu lead, and he can go up kind of to the bottom of A+. He just belongs here at the bottom of A by himself, as he currently just doesn't do enough, even though I want these villains to be top tier. Now let's take a look at Sally, the queen of the tower. We just talked about the king of PvE. Now Sally and her debuffs, they're amazing and not to be underwhelmed. Back, I just did a Tower 5 video, and I had so many comments saying I just beat Tower 5 because of Sally. Because of her sleep, because of her blind, she can fit into PvP teams, fit into PvE teams. She's going to have a place here in this game for a while, considering her putting out mass amount of blinds and sleeping characters. She's great for controlling the battlefield. Now here's a big Mr. Moneybags that made his way all the way down. Probably one of the biggest jumps we have on this tier list, and that is Scrooge, guys. Now Scrooge wasn't the best hero. He was somewhat slept on. I'll throw you that. However, now with the tech teams coming out, Scrooge, Mr. Big Moneybags, he's found his place on, in my opinion, the best current team within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. He pairs so nicely with Gizmo Duck. He's going to go up a tier, win with Gizmo and the other tech heroes. Scrooge can do some massive damage with his money time. Essentially, the more helpful effects Scrooge has, the more damage he can do. He also now has an ability to grant his heads or tails coin ability on adjacent allies, which is very helpful, spreading those buffs. Kind of a pseudo Ana, perhaps. Overall, I'm glad to see Scrooge make the jump up. He does have his place on one of the best teams in Disney Sorcerer's Arena, and it is rightfully earned. Now, just above Scrooge is Cora, and Cora by herself can be very pesky to handle. She also made a big jump and got a big buff from previously, so Cora is making the leap into A tier. She gets constant evade. She gets a passive avatar that comes whenever she does die. She can hit a lot of enemies with a disc. She can stun. Offers a lot for the tech team and is deserving of this spot. Now, lastly, Jack Sparrow, my man, is going to go up a full tier when he's with Oceanics, one of the better plug-and-plays within DSA and one of the better Oceanics. He is falling a tad bit, but that doesn't mean he's not one of the best characters within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. He's at the top of the A tier and looking mid, even high A+ when with Oceanics. That charm, that AoE, it just can't be underestimated, and he's a wonderful character that can slot into a lot of teams if that's what you're looking to do with him. Now on to the A+ characters. These are the showstoppers, the celebrities within DSA, and some of the best characters within the game. Of course, they're outclassed by the S tier, which we're going to hop to, but let's take a look at this list, my friends. Starting at the bottom, Judy Hopps. She's consistent. She stays as a kind of a plug-and-play character. I think we'll see her more and more in the future, but right now, bottom of A tier. Now, Barley is one of the more unique characters within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. He can strip taunt and just do things that other people can't. He calls a lot of heroes to assist. He makes Ian an incredible attacker, and Barley is slept on quite often. So if you don't know what to do and you're kind of thinking, I don't want Oceanic or Kingdom, go for Downtown Heroes with the Onward crew. They're great and they're a lot of fun to have, and I think we'll be seeing them more and more within the arena. Now, Jasmine is a staple within a lot of Kingdom teams. She's incredibly fast. She's got a great tank in Raja, who she can summon on the battlefield, who can take up a lot of the hits. My only problem with Jasmine, again, she's an A character. She's still very good, but she's got a one-trick pony, one-trick tiger, if you will, kind of kid. Once she puts out Raja, if Raja dies or loses the buff of taunt, you just have Jasmine just kind of doing nothing. She can attack and do a basic. She can call Aladdin and do somewhat of a heavy hit. but just after that, she does have a little one-trick pony to her, so that is why she's towards more of the bottom of the A+ category. Now moving on to this Toy Story villains combo, Chunk and Lotso. And Chunk is one of the best tanks within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. So he lets other people take the damage, and then they can come back and hit Chunk again. Chunk is a solid addition to really any team. He can extend debuffs on the field, so he can make, for instance, Jafar's Charm go a lot longer, up to 2 to 3 turns, and just does things that other heroes cannot do. And Lotso is just like Barley in the fact that no one does quite what Lotso does. He can put out taunts on the field. He can avoid Kristoff, who's going to be getting up that endless wall of taunts and harmful immunity. However, with Lotso, you put taunt on the weakest allies out there or the lowest health, and then you can go and attack them instead of Kristoff. Lotso is a great addition to any team. However, he is locked behind a wall, and I don't see a lot of people getting Lotso right out the bat just because of how hard it is to unlock this character. And we've got 2 of the Aladdin duos here. Now, Aladdin himself has gone down just a little bit. Now, Mickey and Mordu have both been very solid characters since the launch of DSA and Global, and they still remain very high up on the A+ category. They are getting knocked down again a bit more with these new characters coming up. Now, the next 5 characters, Cozy Club, can all essentially be swapped out with one another with how good they are. It just depends the team that they're on. So starting with Hades, he's still a very solid character. However, he fell from that S tier rank and he's going down a little bit. Very solid character at T7, has great speed, great attack, but he's starting to fall more and more because really all he does at the end of the day is damage. Now, keep in mind, he is good versus shields, and so down the line, we're going to need to see more and more characters that are effective against shields, as Hero is pumping out a lot of extra health. So Hades can do more with that and be useful there. Now, Gantu is one of the most unique tanks within Disney Sorcerer's Arena, and personally, right now, my favorite character to use. He's an absolute blast. This chubby dolphin can lay out the hits, take out T7 full frozen teams. He ignores taunts because he just lays out the hurt with AoEs. He's even better with his Oceanic teammates. He's going to get a +1, and honestly, he'll be at the end of that S tier. Not maybe the top, but he'll be in S tier when he's with other Oceanic characters. Gantu lays out massive damage, and let's not forget his fellow tank and probably the best tank in DSA, and that's going to be Kristoff. Now, Kristoff is the best tank in Disney Sorcerer's Arena right now when he is with the Frozen team. There is Gizmo, which we'll get to in just a hot minute, that is better by himself, but Kristoff, when with Frozen, he's just the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of Frozen cannot be taken down. It seems like he can take endless hits. When with Frozen, he's got great speed, can call Sven to assist, and works very well. Now, when he's not with Frozen, this feels like a good spot for him. Lastly, we've got Bubbles and Gizmo, and Bubbles can be a plug-and-play character in S tier when with the right squad, but Bubbles is making his way onto almost any meta team. He can fit and do his job well with anybody. He gives tactics to people. He gains turn meter passively. He does huge hits. And if you guys haven't seen on my Twitch stream, with his suitcases, he can take down millions of characters with Peter Pan's Shadow. Excellent addition to any team, and I love myself some Bubbles. The top of the A+ tier is going to be Gizmo. In my opinion, is the best standalone tank in Disney Sorcerer's Arena. Gizmo is the newest character to land in the game, and he can do incredible things. Again, like we've talked about, what does he do outside of taunt? Well, he does taunt. He's the fastest tank in DSA when he's under hero. No one can outbeat that speed, so he gets a taunt up right away that cannot be easily taken down. On top of that, he throws out blinds to the enemy. He can extend harmful effects like Chunk, and he can also purge helpful effects on his basic, which is crazy. He's got a nice lead if you don't want to use hero, and all around, Gizmo is a solid character, my friends. We're here. We're at the top of the list, the top of DSA. These are the kings. These are the showstoppers. These are the best characters that can go in any team that you should take to tier 7, that you should take and put them in any squad that you're working on. Stop what you're doing. Farm these guys. Look at the team that you're farming, whether it be Kingdom, Oceanic, or Tech, and find one of these characters that go along with it and start going after them. Starting out, we have Stitch. Now, I have Stitch here. Stitch is probably going to be a lot higher on this list. As of now, no one has access to pass a 5-star Stitch, and he's already doing crazy things at 5 stars. However, we're going to put him here. You'll probably see him in the August edition of the tier list be probably near the top. He does crazy things, great damage, good health, incredibly fast speed. Stitch is going to be the best or one of the best characters within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. Now, next up is Zerg, and I know people think that Zerg should be off this S tier list. However, no one can just sustain the pure damage that Zerg puts out on a regular basis. I have found him, and I have found a place for him in so many teams, whether it's Oceanic, Kingdom, you name it, and Zerg's damage is hard to beat. Now, yes, he is somewhat of a two-trick pony. He can do Zerg Vision, then Rapid Ion Blaster, and then he's kind of done. But you just can't discount him taking out a character completely. Now, you have Elsa, who's going to be one of the best characters in DSA, and with Frozen, is the showstopper. She's the show yourself. She does the crazy damage, and Elsa is one of the most sought after characters in DSA for exactly what she does. The whole Frozen team is built around her, and Elsa, when with the right team, is just crazy impossible to get around without her doing a huge hit. Elsa does so many things well, and that is one of the characters you want to aim for. If you want her, go after the Frozen squad and unlock her. Now, Shan Yu is right above Elsa because he just keeps hanging around. He's always going to be relevant. He's got an incredible leadership with high speed giving to the Kingdom characters. He has great damage, good critical damage. The guy is just going to last no matter what. Even if a Kingdom character comes out with a better lead, Shan Yu is still going to be a Kingdom character that you have within your team. There's only one better Kingdom character in the game, and that is Ana. Ana is the definition of an incredible support. We went from having no good supports in this game to be dropping like 3 amazing supports back after back. Ana gives haste, she can help slow down and has a universal lead for everybody. Does an AoE offense down, which slows down both PvE and PvP enemies, or could just get rid of massive evades that we see with Hero on the field. Ana is absolutely clutch on so many teams and rightfully deserving a top 3 spot on this tier list. Now, the second best character in this game is Dash. Dash is the premier damage dealer within DSA. Now, I think Stitch is going to slow Dash down once we get later into August. However, right now, Dash is a no-brainer T7 character that fits well and can just do his own thing on any team. You can see him wipe out teams. If you have a mid-game or even early-late game, you're going to be cleaning up whole teams in just 2 turns. It's absolutely crazy, his combination. I love Dash because he doesn't rely on any other heroes. Now, for the best character within Disney Sorcerer's Arena, guys, and you see him here, it is Hiro Hamada. Hiro is ridiculous, and dang it, I almost say he's just almost OP, and I don't throw that out a lot. Now, I love Hiro. He's in any team that I test with. No matter what faction, what realm, whoever I'm trying to test out, why not have Hiro on your team? The reason for this is he can use his upgrade ability and make any character go next. So he's gonna make the slow characters fast and so on. His evade is absolutely mind-blowing. He gives an AoE evade to the rest of the team. He can use upgrade on himself, thus giving him speed up, then using evade, and set yourself up for success for a defense run against a team that might even be better than yours. You can run Hiro at 3-star, you can run him at 7-star. He's incredible no matter what, and we're gonna see him only get better when the eventual Big Hero 6 does come to this game, my friends. Hiro does so many things well. He has a great spot in the best team in DSA, in my opinion. He's got that tech tag to speed them all up. Works well with Gizmo, Scrooge, Korra, and others. Hiro's a no-brainer, and if you want to know one person or one hero to go after, it would be him. And there we have it, Cozy Club. We finally went through every hero. This was a very long video, so thank you for sticking with me. Here's the complete tier list right here, guys. On this graphic, you can see from S tier to F tier all the characters. I will be putting this on my Discord. If you guys want to join, you can find that in the link below. We put all the graphics here at the Cozy Club in the Cozy Club Discord. Also, guys, we have been doing unboxing streams on Twitch, so I'll also be putting my PO box in the description below if you guys want to see some fun stuff opening up. Put it either in the studio or somewhere here at the Cozy Club. And lastly, my friends, be sure to join the Twitch family. We're growing each and every day. Can't wait to see you there. Hopefully, we bring you the next tier list video a lot sooner. Probably mid-August is what I have to guess. And yes, we will have a new edition of the farming guide coming out in early August so that you guys know, while looking at this tier list, who exactly you should farm and what teams that you should go after. Guys, thank you so much again. If you liked the content today, don't forget, hit that subscribe button on your way out. Would love for you to join the Cozy Club family. Lastly, I want to say a quick thank you to all my Patreons right here. Thank you so much for your extra support and joining the Patreon Cozy Club family. Love hanging out with you guys on the chat, in the video chats. It's always great, and I could not do it without your support. Cozy Club, I will see you later in the week. Thank you so much for sticking around this awfully long video, and until next time, stay cozy, my friends.